Welcome to Forest Fan TV, and look where we are today at the lovely, beautiful Emirates Stadium, and the even more beautiful Don Robbie, mate.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Looking forward to the game.
I'm looking forward and I'm nervous, mate. Like, all the talk's been about Arsenal, bottle job this, bottle job that, but I think you've been dealt a harsh blow, mate.
Yeah, well, listen, you only got to watch Man City the other night, and you see just how good they are, you know what I mean? And we've been chasing them down all season, you know, and we've sort of fallen away a bit at the end, but I think you see the difference in squads, you know what I mean? They're able to bring on Foden, Mahrez, and, you know, been able to rotate these guys, you know, Alvarez up front. Whereas at Arsenal, you know, we've lost, you know, Saliba's out. We haven't really got no one to replace him. There's a massive drop-off, you know what I mean? And that's similar in a few positions, and that's something that we're going to have to fix in the summer. But I'm still proud of the team. You know what I mean? We fought them hard this year. We fought them all the way, but they've got the experience, and, you know, we've kind of fallen away towards the end. I mean, our last home game here against Brighton was really disappointing performance, and it was really deflating because the funny thing was the week before we put in one of our best performances of the season away from home, going to Newcastle and beating them at a place where they'd only lost like one game this season. So, you know, it was really baffling last week, but I'm hoping that we can get back on it this weekend, you know, because on the road this season,
Don't say that to me,
Arsenal
Robbie.
have been
Don't say
very
that
good.
to me, man. Don't say that to
Well,
me.
I've got to be factual. That on the road, we've been very strong. Apart from, we've lost to Man City, we lost to Everton, and that was the new manager bounce when they got
the Dyche rule
Sean Dyche in. And we lost to Man United earlier on in the season away from home, and we shouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah, they were lucky.
We were the better team.
They were lucky.
But we know it's going to be tough at Forest, and we know, obviously, I know what you guys are fighting for.
Our lives,
So it's
mate.
going to be, you're fighting for your lives.
Literally. But just on Arsenal quickly, because last season, losing that top four, everyone was saying you were done. How are you going to get these new players in? How is Arteta even going to still be there this season? So the question I've got for you, Robbie, is the expectation level on the fan base. Surely this time last year, after losing, because it was Newcastle, wasn't it, where it kind of curtains on that. But surely expectations have grown as the season has gone. Because if you were offered top four last season for this year, that would have been a step forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, listen, everybody at the start of the season, nobody had us in their top four.
Yeah.
If you looked at all the pundits and that, they had Tottenham in their top four.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know,
Look how
Tottenham
that
are miles
worked out,
off. Yeah, right? And we challenged for the league this year. We're the only team it was us and Man City that challenged for the league up until, you know, about a week or so ago. So we've had an outstanding season, but we're still going to finish with nothing. So, you know,
but progress, Robbie, innit? It's
we made massive progress because, as I said, we've challenged for the league. We've not challenged for the league for about 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We actually were proper challengers for the league. So the what we have to do now is build on that, and next season, you know, strengthen in the summer, and next season now take it that next step. You know what I mean? Because, you know, even if you look at Liverpool, when they were, you know, chasing down City and that, you know what I mean? They didn't win it the first time around. They had to build on it, you know what I mean? And so it's going to be a similar case with us, but certainly we've really suffered through injuries. Players like Saliba, when they're out, the big drop off and that.
That's where you need the backup, I think, in defence. Maybe another CM, I think.
We need about 4 or 5.
Yeah, because there's talks of Casado and Rice, I've heard. I watched your video it was yesterday, wasn't it? Do you think that's something that could happen? I think now Champions League football.
Listen, the rumours are, this Champions League football returns back in next season, so that's going to be great. That helps you to attract the better players. We know that Caicedo wants to play in the Champions League. Declan Rice as well. You know, I really quite confident that we'll get Declan Rice. If we could get Declan Rice and Caicedo, that'd be a good summer.
That's a pairing.
That'd be a great summer, you know what I mean? So, but let's see what happens, you know what I mean? I trust the sort of players that we've been bringing in, you know what I mean? Because the transfers that Arsenal have done, you know, even when it's not been your mega name, has been really, really good, you know what I mean? We've made some great signings. When we've got Aaron Ramsdale, there was a lot of people saying, oh, why are we going for him? But he's been absolutely brilliant. So I trust them to do some good business.
And do you feel now the Cronkiers are in a place where the fan base is backing them now, or do you think they still have more to prove? Because you've got Edu as well pulling the strings.
I think the fan base was right behind Edu, right behind Arteta. With the Cronkiers, it's like, all right, bring us a title.
Yeah, and then we'll talk.
And maybe all's forgiven then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and to be fair to them, you know what I mean, they're starting to really back the manager. So, you know, want them to continue doing that.
You feel something's building. I mean, I was here for the home match for you away for us earlier in the season, where I'll be honest, you gave us a footballing lesson, mate.
We played well that day. Yeah,
I had my boy with me. He's a big gooner, so I was in your end. It wasn't fun for me, mate. He was smiling and the whole trip back home taking the mick out of me. Yeah. Shout out to my boy. There.
Funny enough, right? Oh, happy birthday to you,
Zach.
Mate. Happy birthday, Zach. Funny enough, right? That was one of the few clean sheets we kept at home this season. It's been really weird because we've kind of played better away from home than we have at home.
What do you think that is? Is it a bit more pressure?
I don't know. I just think like we really try to go all out for teams when they come here, whereas when we go away from home, we're a bit more disciplined in our approach.
Yeah. Because I remember the Bournemouth match; they scored after 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You know,
Bournemouth, Southampton did the same thing as well.
Yeah, you were giving me heart attacks in both those matches because they meant a lot to us down the other end.
Yeah. It's been weird here, but away from home, it's been a bit different. Away from home, you know what I mean? We try to get on the front foot, attack teams, but we're a bit more disciplined in our approach.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we kept more clean sheets away from home.
Yeah. And looking at Forest now, mate, from an outsider looking in, obviously everyone's been talking about our 30 transfers this season, you know, double-decker buses. It's a lot, but we didn't have a squad. You know, we had to build a squad. We had loads of loanees last season, contracts coming out, so we had to build a squad. From an outside looking in, how do you think Forest season has been, mate?
I think obviously it's been up and down. This is always going to be really difficult when you bring in so many players. I mean, I don't know how the manager does it with so many players. Obviously, you bring in all those players who all want to play as well. Yeah. You know, we've seen at Chelsea on an even bigger scale what they've done. Yeah. But it's hard to negotiate when you've got so many players. But I think the manager has to take a lot of credit. I think the one thing I've liked about Forest is that they just go and sack their manager. All the clubs at the moment that look like they could go are teams that have sacked their manager, haven't they? Southampton, they sacked three managers. Leeds,
Everton,
Everton sacked manager. Leeds have sacked their manager. You guys don't sack your manager, and you look like the most likely team to survive out of them. So, keeping the faith in the manager, you know what I mean, and I think I think Forest will survive. I'm hoping that it's not going to be done this week. Or maybe it could be done this week if the others lose.
If we draw with you and Leeds and Leicester lose, they've got Newcastle and West Ham. Yeah. Then it's done. I'm pulling the beach towel out, mate.
I think Forest, out of all the teams down at the bottom of the league, have been the better of them. At one stage, you wasn't even really looking in danger of going down.
So we got to 13th. Got sucked back in though, mate.
Yeah. Well, this Premier League is
Premier League, mate. It's a humbler.
Tough league, man. You know what I mean? Like, you've only got to lose a few games, man, and then you're in trouble again. I look at Chelsea this season where they are. You know what I mean? So it's a tough league, and I think, Forest. I think just about you'll survive, and I hope you do. I like Forest. I like Forest.
Thank you.
As a club,
do you have two-star envy? Do you have two-star envy?
I don't have two-star envy, but I am old enough to remember like Brian Clough, and,
the legends.
You know what I mean, and Forest back in the day, and they were a powerhouse. You know what I mean, absolute powerhouse. So these are the sort of teams you want in the Premier League. You know what I mean, and it was great to see them coming out. I'm glad they stuck with the manager. He took them like from the bottom of the Championship.
We were bottom, adrift, going down. He turned it around.
Sometimes you've got to have a little bit of loyalty where you say, you've seen it here with the manager where
was on the ropes,
Yeah, he was on the ropes, and they said, "No, we're going to stick with you, right?" And that's how you build something. Yeah. So I hope they stick with him. I hope it's as well. It's not a thing like he keeps them up and then they get rid of him or something like that. You
never know with Marinakis. So it's.
I thought, when I saw owner of Olympiacos. And I know how that door just opens.
They've gone through 3 or 4 managers this season.
And that's every year, them sort of clubs.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? But he's approached it differently here, and I think he's done the right thing. But yeah, Forest are a good side. And
is there anyone you're worried about, mate? I know we're talking elite versus Premier League standard here, but are there any players that stand out for you at Forest that you may think could cause you some problems this weekend?
Gibbs White, I like. You know what I mean? I think he's a very skillful player, very good player, very underrated. So I like him. Johnson. Dangerous player, you know what I mean? Gonna have to be very careful watching him and getting in behind. You saw last week, Ben White had a really tough time against Matoma. So he's gonna be a tough player. And Anyomi,
He's on hot form right now.
Yeah, and I remember him even early on in the season. Like, he was a handful. He got injured, didn't he?
He's physical,
Physical,
he's come back
strong,
from the injury.
Yeah, good player.
Scoring
goals, and a real target man. And I think what you'll be looking to do is get the ball quickly up front to him. I don't think you're going to try and pass you away.
We'll be low blocking, mate, and
you'll be low blocking and getting counter attacks. I saw the game, some of your games, recent games, and it has been counter attacking. So I expect Arsenal to have a lot of the ball.
You should have done that against Brighton, mate. Come on, we showed you the way for it. We beat them 3-1 at home.
Shocking against Brighton, man. I mean, I still, honestly, that still hurts, that performance, because after what we did the week before at Newcastle and how well we played,
on the up,
you know, and how physical we were and aggressive, and then I don't even want to talk about it, but we've got to learn from it.
Quick question: one of our players that's emerging, that's really becoming a superstar in our eyes, is a player called Danilo from Palmeiras.
Yes, who was linked to Arsenal. Yeah, and it looked like we were definitely going to buy him. It was last January, not January gone, the previous January. And then all of a sudden, Palmeiras, so they wanted a load of money. They wanted about 35 million for him.
That's crazy. We only paid 18.
And then they actually said, we didn't want to sell him, because I think at that time they were still in their version of the Champions League and stuff like that. So they didn't want to sell him.
The Libertadores Cup.
Yeah, and then we sort of passed on him in the end, and we went for more experience. So, but I've watched him in some games, and he looks a really, really good player. Top talent over there in Brazil. You know what I mean? So it's no surprise that he's done well. You know, it bodes well for you guys that he's hit the ground running so well.
Yeah, and it's good to So it was about 30 million the talks were initially.
30 and 35 million they were talking, and that's why Arsenal just said he'd be like work in progress. So no. Yeah,
we paid 18 and it's split over 4 years, so it's good for us.
Great signing amongst the many signings you've made.
One of many, yeah. Let's get a prediction, mate. Let's get a prediction. Cards on the table. Yeah.
I think
which Arsenal are going to turn up? I guess this question probably one in your mind, isn't it?
If the Arsenal that played against Newcastle turns up, I think it's about 3-1 to us. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to be, he looked very, very angry last week with that performance. And if we lose against you lot, City have won the title without even kicking a ball. I don't think he's going to want to let that happen. So if the right Arsenal turns up, I go 3-1.
Yeah.
If the Arsenal that played against Brighton turns up, 1-1.
Let's shake on 1-1, mate. 1-1 for me. I'll say, come on, man, 1-1. Everyone goes home happy. You're done with your season.
I only go home happy if we win.
The title's done, mate.
I only go home happy if
you want Forest to stay up, don't you? Come on,
you
man.
can win your last game.
Palace away.
Or the others can lose around you.
That is true.
Nice.
That is true. We'll take that one, yeah.
And also, I think we owe you one, man. Them last 2 FA Cup games we played there.
Are you joking? You're in debt to us. Man City's run. Who's the last team they dropped points to?
Yeah.
We sorted you out, Robbie.
It's incredible.
We put it there on a plate for you, Robbie.
That just shows you what you're up against, right? When that was the last game they dropped points at, and then they've won every single game.
They're robots, mate, aren't they? It's just,
every single
They made Real Madrid look like Scunthorpe, innit?
I hate that club, you know what I mean? It's crazy. But listen, now we owe you one for the 2 FA Cups, man.
1-0 last season, 4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I remember your fans, they were giving it. I like your fans, but they were giving it a lot.
It's going to be a cauldron this weekend. They're going to be up for it. We're going to be loud. Are you down there this weekend?
Yeah, I'm down there. It was a cauldron at St James's Park.
Yeah.
And we quietened that down. I think we can quieten down
the world-famous City ground is different to St James's Park, mate.
Yeah?
There's an atmosphere and a half there. It can't be beaten.
You lot might be taking a dip in the river after,
Well, if we win, we're all jumping in, mate. Brilliant. Robbie, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for your time.
Guys, I do hope you stay up, but not this week.
That's what everyone keeps telling us, mate. Everyone keeps pushing us down the road to next week. Yeah? At some point, someone's got to give way.
Final week of the season.
Final week against Palace, I can't survive that. Guys, make sure you're subscribed as well to AFTV and, of course, to DR Sports, the fantastic channel that it is. The links will be in the description and in the title. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.